You're watching this week's show with Dan and Mike.
This week's show.
Booyah!
Back in the studio, no blog for you this week.
But what a blog that was. I think that pretty much last week's show encompassed everything that was Bloodstock except for bin jousting, because I could not stay awake till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and the opposite side of the site to where I was camping.
Pretty much. And I will happily admit that Bloodstock, I'm doing better than last year because we have talked about health on this podcast. But I did still come away from Bloodstock with a very dicky tummy. Not a criticism of the food there, it's just my stomach can't handle festival food for the amount of time we spend at a festival.
You were slightly the same after download, because
it builds.
3 days or 3 or 4 days of living on festival food and the stuff you've bought from home is...
Ambient food and festival food just doesn't do well if you have a sensitive stomach like I do.
Yeah.
Which is weird for me, because I used to have a stomach made of steel, that I could eat anything.
Kevlar, lining.
And now I just look at food wrong, and we were just talking about it off cameras, just literally eating on Sunday at any festival, they have really good standards. The food at Bloodstock is wonderful, but it is still 4 days of cooking in that heat and things like that, and it disagreed with me on the last night.
That's fair enough. Plus also, either living under a canvas or in the back of your van, it's not ideal conditions.
The heat. It was that Saturday, wasn't it, morning that we woke up and the sun was already trying to turn everybody into a rotisserie. Well, chicken for me and a rotisserie eggplant for you.
Surely if that ends up becoming baba ganoush. It just drips out and you just got this like purpley black skin over. I'll really do some baba ganoush now.
Right.
Some pita bread. Sorry, that's the end of the podcast. We're going off to the shop.
Food. I need chicken. To be honest, even with how much my stomach was being affected, it could not dim how fun I found Bloodstock this year.
It really was. There was a good vibe. Like, we literally turned up on site and it absolutely hammered down with rain.
Yep.
For dead on pretty much 15 minutes, I think. That was enough time for us to get out of the van, go and get all the, passes, check in and all that kind of, all the important things in the rain. And as soon as we had the wristbands on and we're walking back to the van, and it stopped and we're like, we brought the sunshine.
Yeah, it's still the unbroken record of taking the Devon sun wherever we go.
But we've had a good run of festival this year. Like, normally we have a very wet...
We have a brown festival
a brown festival, but this year we haven't really. We had a very overcast Slammy D.
We did,
and it was really warm.
But it still held.
Yes.
Download, we managed to hide in the press area every time it rained.
It didn't really rain a lot though. Mostly rained on the way up to Download. I was
going to say there was a couple of cloud bursts, but no, the insane rain was what we drove through.
Yeah.
And then the storms seemed to respect the hallowed grounds of...
respect the metal.
Yeah. Though... don't trust Google Maps because something's going wrong with it, because we accepted a new route to Bloodstock and ended up being within a mile of Ozzy's bench in Birmingham in the worst rush hour traffic.
Oh, if only it wasn't rush hour and we realised where we were, because we don't know Birmingham at all.
Not even slightly.
It was when we started seeing the signs for Aston and it's like, we must be pretty close to Ozzy's bench.
So you actually Googled it.
It's like... Yeah, we passed it about 100 yards ago, all the turning for it. It's like, but there was no way we would be able to do turning around and going.
Especially because we did have the van with us as well, which just makes moving.
We'll do it one time. We'll pay homage to...
Oh, 100%.
But we did that because on the Thursday night at Bloodstock, we had to wander around and the screens were doing... Aussie stuff, and there was, we had
our... signing area as well.
That was the immemorial bit, wasn't it? It was really cool.
But no, massive shout out to the organisers, because to sell out that early but get there and still have the same true to its roots festival.
Yeah.
And like at the point that we're recording this, it's now like 85%, isn't it? Like nearly 90% sold out for next year.
On everything, camper vans have sold out, VIPs have sold out. I think it's just 85% of general admission tickets.
Or possibly some day tickets chucked in there as well.
Yeah.
But we had a feeling this was going to happen because we did film the announcement and put it online. And we are close to 1 million combined views across our networks.
Across 3 networks.
Across our 3 main networks. 1 million views, and the discussions about who's playing.
Yeah. Next year is looking fierce, and I said it on the radio show as well. It's like they've announced 25 bands, and because it's the 25th anniversary. But if you look at places in Europe that have got festivals on, they've already announced some of their bands for next year that aren't playing or have not been announced for Bloodstock, but it's the same weekend, so there's only 3 festivals on that weekend, so
it's kind of likely.
There's a very high percentile that we will be seeing some of the bands at Bloodstock that are playing at these festivals in Europe the same weekend. So,
or vice versa, you might find that there's a handshake agreement on not announcing the same big bands. So like Bloodstock gets, because Bloodstock always does an on-site announcement. It's one of the ways that makes Bloodstock very different to other festivals is they know fans want to know from being stood in the arena on a Friday night. They want to know what's happening next year.
And it's so much fun being out, and you had to do it because I was doing an interview.
Part of the announcement.
We were doing an interview, and it's like we could hear all the yay,
dip, yay, dip, yay, dip.
And then they announced Slaughter from Prevail, and it's like yay, oh boo,
But the funny thing is I remember when they first announced Trivium to headline. They got booed.
Yeah, the first time, not this time.
Not this time.
This time was immense.
Not only that, but it was very much, I think, if there was a band that deserved to show how popular within the industry they are and with their fans, given the slightly rough year that was had over tours and things like that, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, they had a good tour. It just ended
weirdly.
Abruptly.
Ended weirdly and abruptly. It was lovely to see Trivium go. So the unpopular, this is going back to 2006, the unpopular band that got slammed in the press 20 years ago, now can get Rob Flynn from Machine Head out.
Yeah, the day before they were
to do an Ozzy Osbourne tribute as a group, which was amazing to see.
They had Ishan from Emperor do the in waves.
Yeah, and then fair play to him, he didn't stay for the rest of the song because that is a big shout for. But I thought he did not bad. But genuinely, the thing that really shocked me, because I don't normally notice when it's anything apart from a guest vocalist, but it was 3 from Sleep Token coming out.
What we also forgot, which we got called out on our socials, is Josh from Malevolence also came on and guested as a guitarist in one of the songs. And we both completely
we were both watching and just forgot to pull the phone out.
But 3 from...
But 3, when he started playing bass with Paolo, was it Throws of Perdition I think they did it on? Either way, it probably doesn't matter too much. But the suddenly, like, me and you turned to each other because the bass line suddenly was so loud.
It was like being at a corn gig.
And what was really nice about it is, Trivium using their own reputation to show some love to the band that gets criticised enough for not being metal enough.
Yeah.
If you can come out and play with Trivium on stage, then it kind of ups your metal.
But Sleep Token did play at Bloodstock only a couple years ago. They headlined the second stage.
Exactly. It's just... It's that same, and I think this is the reason they did it, is Trivium got slammed between album 1 and 2 in the press of the time, which probably none of the same press people are actually still available or doing press. It was just before me and you had started, actually. And they got slammed because they changed their sound for the second album. That was it. There was nothing deeper than that. They changed their sound and got massively criticised. So I think seeing Sleep Token get a lot of criticism off of a big push that got them to download Headline, I think there's a big part of every member of Trivium that went through it themselves going, we're going to make sure some love is shown for this. And then the funniest thing is, it wasn't even how metal 3 was that got everybody talking, it's how damn long his legs are. Like, that was the thing that people concentrated on. And to be honest, I'm here for a very simple, like, if that's what people are commenting on, then it means it went down well.
Oh, yeah.
Then I did some of the blogging for Machine Head, and genuinely, I forget how rowdy but friendly and lovely a Machine Head crowd is, because they're rowdy, but I got knocked a couple of times by a couple of people, and this is what I'll say about Machine Head fans, is immediately turned around, hands out, sorry mate. Like, that's...
It is the same crowd as...
True, but it depends on who's at the point where we blog, because the more dedicated to the band you are, the further you are into the melee.
This is true. And talking of Machine Head and the press that you mentioned earlier, Rob's tribute to our old friend Michel, who sadly passed away last year, was
Between the two
so
Bloodstocks.
powerful. Like, anyone that knew Michel, and there was a lot of people there, obviously from Bloodstock, part of the crew, all of his Rob Flynn and the band's like team and stuff, and just all of us in press that were out watching him around the site and stuff, just the love and respect he gave to his old PR agent. You can find it on our socials. It's very moving.
He does it better than we do.
And he talked about her for, it must have been a good almost 5 minutes.
Yeah, we cut it down to try and get the message out a bit quicker.
But it was a surprise, because it was right in the middle of like a proper heavy part of, you know, the middle of the set. He didn't do it at the beginning or as an encore or something. It was when everyone was paying attention and everyone was riled up because there'd been a big heavy tune beforehand, kind of thing, and it was just beautiful. It was touching. And Rob, thank you, man.
If a band's ever played Bloodstock, or even wider reaching than that, not just in the UK but across the world, is so many people, without ever realising it, have felt the influence of Michelle being in the industry.
Oh yeah, because he mentioned it on stage. She was like publicist for Slipknot.
Yeah.
I think Trivium she dealt with for a while. Devil Driver, who else?
It goes on and on.
All those heavy bands from
and then
Earache Records, not Earache, sorry, Roadrunner Records. She was like pinnacle for PR in that, and then obviously took over doing PR for Bloodstock itself, and got the name of the festival, and became a household name, because Bloodstock for quite a while was very niche. You had to be into the metal or the rock to appreciate it. And she got it out into the much wider...
They came on around the time that Bloodstock went from being a one-day indoor festival to becoming the open air, which is why it's called Bloodstock Open Air, is because it was a celebration of Bloodstock originally getting big enough to host open air. And I was chatting with one of the people that she used to work with, and about the time that he took over, and he couldn't believe that I knew the headliners of before they went open air. But it's because one of my friends went to the original, one of first few, I can't remember if it was the first one, but Shadows Fall were the headliners originally, of one of the original indoor ones.
I know Saxon was as well.
But the whole time that we've attended Bloodstock, it's always been the same PR company running the press area.
Yeah, it was always Michelle and Kirsten, and then
Ollie and Austin.
And
shout out to Jazz though, first year doing it for Costa Nostra, because
big shoes to fill,
and filled well.
Very well, yeah.
Because a lot of people don't realise how much strain the PR company that runs the press area is under, because not only do you have to organise the press area itself, you still have bands that you have to go around and service to podcasters and radio shows like us.
She looked after Paleface Swiss for us. It's just like, and she spent most of the weekend looking at the back of my head, because her desk was facing the back of my head. So it's sorry, Jazz.
And we also realised quite quickly that just through looking up and taking a break from a computer screen, both of us, me and Jazz, just ended up the whole weekend making faces at each other, because I was the opposite side of the table to Mike, so I was looking directly at him.
I thought you were putting those faces at me, dude.
But no, they're genuinely so wonderful, and there was no downside. They even did a very clever reorganising of the press area outside, so that it was much easier for people to use.
Yeah.
Small change, but very intelligent change.
All they've got to do now is just change the direction of the PA for the bands that play in the VIP area, instead of it facing the press area, which I bring up every year, but now it's on film.
Very true.
But also, we did a whole bunch of cool interviews, which
I was going to say,
you can find on our other channel, MJRS+1. Like, subscribe, notification bell, because we've got other festivals to come as well.
Yeah, speaking of other festivals to come, we are heading off to Reading next. It's at the point of recording the end of this week.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit.
And what's really funny is this is not only Limp Bizkit, but we've managed to do Reading as me and you, and we did quite a few years like that. But last year, it was me and our manager that did Reading because you just couldn't get the time off for the festival. Whereas this year, it is the first time that Reading's been done.
Full crew,
which does also mean that the full crew's been at every single festival that the UK has to offer that we cover.
And it's working because we're getting millions of views.
I was going to say. But shout out to some stuff which I'm looking forward to at Reading this year. Is I showed you it was now a good 2 years ago, showed you this up and coming pop punk band based out of Oxford.
Yes.
And I was like, they're blowing up on TikTok. I know that's not a sign that you're necessarily going to be successful. I was like, but we're talking seriously big numbers. So I interviewed them last year when they played the BBC introducing stage quite late in the day. Me and the manager actually went and watched them as well.
It's quite a big stage as well, isn't it, if they're introducing?
But this, I don't know if it's changed, but it wasn't that big last year.
Oh, okay.
It was between... I guess what you would call the non-dance second stage, which Teddy Swims nearly caused a riot act because there were so many people trying to get to it, he should have been on main stage. And then BBC Introducing is the one that is not quite as small as the old Jaeger stage out the truck, but wasn't far away from it.
Oh, okay, so it's a pull-out stage.
A pull-out stage,
yeah.
Right next to where we've seen sort of the Bullet secret set, the Asking headline set, stuff like that.
Yeah.
South Arcade are the band I'm talking about, and they've
got some good tunes. They're actually now getting played on Radio 1, which is the national.
And because of that, they have jumped in 1 year, and I still find this impressive. It's not quite Post Malone style, but it's close.
Next year?
Yeah, because South Arcade have jumped from playing to probably 100 to 200 people at the BBC Introducing stage to the main stage of Reading. And it's well earned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, they're getting national airplay.
They're good with their fans. And also one of the things I love about South Arcade is they are just a positive band with a positive presence online, playing the nice style of pop punk that they do, which actually encompasses an awful lot of the pop punk genre, song to song. And they haven't got too big for their boots, because we sent them a little message about what happened on our radio show this week, because we had a positive mental attitude track from As December Falls.
We did, yes.
It was South Arcade with Stone Cold Summer, one of my favourite tracks by them.
Stone Cold Stunner. I thought we weren't mentioning a lot of wrestling. We'll save that for next week, Clash in Paris.
Yeah, you know it. But I text South Arcade saying, look, we're all going to be at Reading. Is there any chance of doing potentially like an interview where you also recommend a track based off of being one of the recommended ones? And the first thing they said is, absolutely love As December Falls. What cuties for selecting us. And yeah, we'll see you at Reading. And that, it could have easily gone to their head over the last year or so.
Yeah.
And it hasn't. They're still the same lovely, down-to-earth people that I chatted to last year.
Or they could have, by this stage, had someone looking after their social media for them.
Either way.
Who are you?
But either way, if they're doing it so that the presence remains the same and they're still keeping that positivity out there, then I'm happy with that.
It's all good.
But me and you are basically filling time, I guess, until we see the big three that the rock show is so there for.
So that's Becky Hill.
Yeah, Becky Hill.
She's got some lungs on her. Yeah, if we catch the end of her set or the beginning of her set, she's worth seeing live.
Mate, I went and watched Lana Del Rey last year because I wanted to see what the hype was about.
Nothing to be sniffed at.
Nothing to be sniffed at. Obviously Travis Scott, because of wrestling, we now are clearly fans.
Well, yeah,
And,
if he brings his missus along on the tour with him, that'd be amazing.
But no, being more serious, because it's all Saturday stuff, is Enter Shikari.
Yes, first show of the year, I believe, in the UK. They've had time out. Rao was touring with War of the Worlds theatrical production with Charlie Smith, who's now busy as well doing other bits and pieces.
Yep.
So yeah, that should be interesting. I think it's just going to be the start of their next era.
100%. I mean, we can never, ever get enough. It is a reason why we got to where we are as well, because of an interview years and years ago. But a place where both of us meet, I think, equally is Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, boy!
Both of us have been fans long before we met each other. I owned Significant Other as well as the Hot Dog Water. And
yeah, it's on a jar around here, isn't it? The hot dog water.
I think so, yeah. And like, genuinely, I don't think that they get any worse as they get older. I think they actually get better.
Well, yeah.
Because rather than worrying about turning old, they're just doing it as disgracefully and as amusingly as
like Fred with his big grey afro,
and
curly hair.
And the pink, creepy sunglasses.
And then wears whatever he finds in a thrift store and jazz it up.
And paints it, yeah.
Well, they've been playing European festivals for the past week or so, and Wes has been in like a white outfit, but with like Technicolor plume out of his head.
Amazing.
And whatever you do at Reading, do not fly a drone close to Fred Durst.
No, I mean, I don't think in the UK you're allowed to fly them over festivals anyway.
No,
but
if you get so
Reading
close,
drone operators, be very careful.
Yeah, because you've probably seen it online, but yeah, there was somewhere in Europe that the drone got a little bit too close to Fred, and he smashed it out of the air with the microphone.
Amazing! I just genuinely love that so much. And
the thing is, though, I really want to see the drone footage.
Yeah, it's got to be released at some point because it's too popular not to. But the absolute cherry on the cake of enjoying everything that we're going to be doing on this day is the fact that we get to watch Bring Me the Horizon headline again.
Oh!
Am I talking headlining Reading? Am I talking just headlining UK festivals? Because
well, we saw them. They were last time we saw them at Reading. They were the main support to Metallica.
But they have headlined on the year that we weren't there, didn't they? Because there's.
Not sure.
We'll throw it over to the manager to see whether or not that's the case. Because obviously, at Download 20th anniversary, they were one of the 4 headliners across the weekend.
3 headlines.
I was going to say
4 days.
4 headline slots, 3 bands, but they got.
They were the filling in a Metallica sandwich.
Yes, and what a filling it was. It
was immense. So yeah, and this again could be the start of something new for Bring Me the Horizon, because they haven't released anything. Well, they did the Lo-Fi remix album a few months ago, but they haven't really done anything this year besides put out 2 cute little twins. Bless you, Ollie. They are so adorable.
Congratulations.
It's going to be interesting to see how Ollie's stamina holds up on stage for an hour and a half, 2 hours after no sleep. I suppose you should talk to Matt Heafy because he's got twins.
I mean, not only that, but we'll see whether Ollie crawls more, because that's what he has to do to chase after them so often.
Well, they're only a couple months old. I don't think they'll be crawling yet. They're still going to be...
In that case, he's going to be fine. It's going to be the next couple of years after that. However, manager has answered the question.
2022.
Yes, I thought
it was the pandemic one.
The year that we weren't there, because we didn't go to Reading that year. So
we decided to. It was
well, again, it's the things that are happening this year happen on other years. Is I do get quite rough by the end of festival season. And we go where the interview opportunities are. So that's why we're going to Reading, because there is a definite slew of interviews we're going to try and pick up. Whether we get them all is a different matter.
We've got some lined up.
Yeah. We're still hankering after that Fred Durst guest hosting our podcast at some point, but you never know.
Fred and Wesley.
Yeah, we would happily. I mean, Ollie as well.
Otto.
Yeah. Ollie, you happily sit down with you. Other members of Bring Me the Horizon, I don't know the names of.
It would be quite cool to speak to Lee from Bring Me the Horizon, because he's just brought out another signature guitar, so that'll be
That's-
something to talk about. Lee Malia.
And it's not like we haven't chatted to Enter Shikari 1,000 times over the years anyway.
The request has gone in for Shikari.
Yeah, it's whether we get Raoul or tick off some of the other
Raoul?
members.
Has he become Puerto Rican or something now?
I just really struggled to, because it's Rue, isn't it? But
Raoul. Raoul like cow.
well, I wasn't that far off.
It's spelled Rue.
Yeah, I get confused with him, J.K. Rowling or Rowling or whatever she's meant to be called. Either way, don't support her personal views whatsoever, not even slightly.
Doesn't matter what you call her.
Yeah, let's not get into that on the podcast, apart from the fact that we don't support J.K. Rowling's views.
Let's go back to Bring Me the Horizon, hoping they might debut a new tune instead then.
Yes, because we did catch the secret set when they were called Mantra, which was great.
That was at Reading as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we've seen them a couple of times at Reading.
We have. I mean, what's really weird now is, even though it wasn't that long ago, but Metallica headlining Reading seems like such an absurdity because of how...
That was 2018?
Yeah, 2018 or 2019 possibly. But manager's going to check.
The boss is on it, yeah.
Because it worked at the time, because Metallica had that sort of... Stranger Things popularity, wasn't it?
No, that was post-pandemic.
Was it?
Stranger Things was when we saw them do the double download.
Yes, yeah. So, but it just shows how contemporary, I think is the word I'm looking for, Reading can be, because...
2015.
Was it 2015? Mm-hmm. Wow. So that was...
10 years ago.
10 years ago we watched Metallica headline and Bring Me being main support, and now Bring Me their second time headlining.
Was that the same year that Limp Bizkit played in the tent with Run the Jewels?
So we were talking off air just before we started about how me and Mike have never...
They've done it 4 times, they've headlined, so that might be the other one.
What,
Metallica.
Oh yeah, no, we know Metallica's headlined
yeah.
Reading.
It was Jamie T that they headlined with that year.
Incredible.
Whatever happened to Jamie T?
I don't know.
Well, that was 10 years ago. So.
But no, we nearly got very seriously injured in a Limp Bizkit pit inside a tent because we were...
Definitely spiked the anxiety.
Yeah, we didn't realise quite how much things were going to kick off even as far back as we were.
Because we caught the end of Run the Jewels and we were like, this is really cool. And then I really got into Run the Jewels.
Yes. And so
I'm
we
a
stayed
hip-hop
there
head.
in place just waiting, and never ever again that...
Because it wasn't a long changeover.
It was only about 20 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was just a DJ set that run the
Yeah,
Jewels
so they
with,
could take it down really quick.
Yeah, so they just moved, well, didn't they just move the whole plinth over and then just put in DJ Lethal's
Pretty much.
set and just carried on?
Because we had done Pendulum there as well, and it was nothing compared to Limp Bizkit.
No. And Pendulum this year doing the silent disco on the Thursday night.
Amazing.
Right?
But yeah, so we've had some interesting times at Reading. It is probably the most interesting place to camp, I would say, out of all of the media and guest camping.
Yeah, I haven't done that since 2018, so I'm not going to do it this year.
Yeah, no. There's definitely a certain element of Reading is a young person's festival.
Well, it's always been the festival that happens the day or so after you get your GCSE results. It's that rites of passage. You get your GCSE results, you go to Reading because you bought your tickets beforehand, hoping you got good, or your parents bought you the tickets, hoping you got good results. And then you come back from Reading, it's bank holiday weekend, and then college starts and you're back into a whole new life.
I even did
Adulting.
it years ago, and my headliners for when I did Reading like that as a kid was the White Stripes, The Darkness,
oh man,
and Green Day on the American Idiot tour. That's how long ago it was.
Can't remember my first actual Reading because it was in the mid to early 90s, but I missed Nirvana, thinking they'd be back the following year. I was like, oh God, I want to go and see, I'll go and see this other band because they'll be back. No.
And that has unfortunately, have you ever watched How I Met Your Mother with The Blitz, where he always leaves just before something amazing happens? For a while, you did have a bit of a curse of being a festival blitz on yourself.
I did, like at Download when Jack Black walked in, and so I just walked out.
Yep.
Just like...
And Download held another one for you as well, because Sixth returned the same year that Linkin Park
did
Hybrid Theory in full, followed by the rest of their career hits.
I saw the end of I saw the hits. I just didn't see
Hybrid Theory.
I went and saw Sixth.
Because your reasoning being is you'll be able to catch Linkin Park anytime they headline Download.
Yeah, and they were pretty much booked to play again.
They were the contract signings were about to happen when the news broke about the tragedy.
Andy was in the air with the contract ready to be signed by the time he touched down. The news had broken. It's just that's savage. Anyway, we should end on something happier.
Well, the hope is, one, that we will actually see Linkin Park headline a UK festival again pretty soon.
Download.
Yeah, pretty confident that's going to be next year.
Yeah, with Ghost and hopefully Parkway Drive.
That's our sort of very lazy Download predictions for next year. We don't even try to predict Reading because it's so impossible to work out whether or not, because there's been some years where there's been nothing for us there.
Yeah, that's the ones we haven't been to.
Because I think Bring Me were one of the only bands that was actually in 22 worth us going, and we can't get a Bring Me the interview anyway.
Yeah.
Because they just don't do interviews anymore. Why would you?
People moan that Reading's changed. Oh, it's so changed.
It's always been contemporary.
You've just got older. It's geared towards the 16 to 26 demographic.
Yeah.
And the bands and the artists that are big and popular in the charts or now on the internet and TikTok or whatever are those artists that play, which is why you've got Chapel Roan headlining this year, you've got Travis Scott headlining this year.
Yeah.
And then to balance it up, they've got Bring Me the Horizon, who are huge. They've worked their way up
across generations, to be fair.
When I started going, like I just said, Nirvana, they were the biggest band on the planet playing the festival geared towards the 16 to 26-year-old.
You wouldn't get the Darkness or White Stripes headlining these days.
No.
Also, don't forget, we watched Post Malone main stage early afternoon. Yeah. Next year, because we did both years in a row, next year we watch Post Malone headline.
Exactly.
It's contemporary.
It's all about whatever is popular and whatever is the buzz bands and things.
It's why they're one of the latest ones out of all festivals to announce their lineup, because they're trying to make it as contemporary as possible.
I'm a bit gutted that we're not there for Chapel Roan, because she brings out guests and
100%.
All year she's been bringing out some of the most amazing guests, so you never know.
If you're going on the Friday, make sure you check it out. And I was just going to say one last thing, is the medical team and the availability of help without judgment is particularly important for Reading, because a lot of people are letting loose at a festival for the first time ever.
A lot of people, getting around drugs and alcohol for the first time because of, like I was saying, it's celebratory.
Not only that, but
of summer.
It's that weird thing where you go through a festival's entrance, and in some ways the rules in your head change a little bit, where you, like we used to drink heavier at festivals when we were drinking than we would at a night out.
Outdoor drinking, it's completely different to nightclub or venue drinking or pub drinking. It hits different, especially if you're outside and you start drinking for breakfast at 9 or 10 in the morning.
Or you've had a couple of unmentionables to keep your energy up.
On top of greasy food and narcotics or anything like that, it just reacts differently to you because you're in fresh air. And then it could be that it's absolutely lashing down with rain, you get cold, and that will mess with your body.
Or too hot.
It's too hot and you haven't hydrated enough because you've only been drinking alcohol, which
we've done.
Works, like
no judgment.
We're old, but you don't listen to us. It's not like we've done it for the last 30 years.
All we'd say, and this is the point of it, is one, there's no judgment from us. We're not telling you not to do it. We're just saying
handle your high however you choose to do it.
And if you're not handling it, the medical teams are absolutely amazing at Reading because they know what type of festival they're running. I actually, a couple of years ago, one of my students from my day job, he was a medical student near to finishing in Exeter.
Oh, nice.
And he went to Reading to do medical shifts across the weekend.
St John's?
Yes. and his main thing was to want to build his own experience.
Of course.
But he had a bad experience at a festival, and he wanted to go back and pay it back. So that's who's running your medical teams, are people that don't judge. They're not going to make you feel embarrassed. Don't be ashamed of your high. We all kind of know that it's going on. So if you're struggling with it and not handling it well, go seek out medical attention, because they're going to treat you well and they're not going to make you feel like an asshole.
And it's not just medical as in like cuts and bruises and stuff. There are trained people on site if you're having mental crises as well.
Crises.
That's it, crises. Or just life.
And if you're really struggling as well, like we had it where one time we were on the boat to get us back to the car park, and there was somebody having a real big struggle in the corner. Talk to the adults that are nearby, because most of us, if we're turning up to somewhere like Reading, know exactly how crazy it can get. And we're sober the most of the time. I'm not saying come find us, but
yeah, it's like 90,000 people. Yeah. You'll be able to find us well easy.
But if there's adults there, most of the time they're going to be able to point you in the right direction and keep you safe for the time that you do. And again, just the same thing that we say at everything, because we work with Safe Gigs for Women, is if you see creepy behaviour, go find security. Don't deal with it yourself. Go find security and get them to come deal with it instead, because that's just the better way of dealing with that type of thing as well.
Just look after each other.
Exactly, and I think looking after each other is a nice positive way to finish up. So we said it earlier, but make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on this channel and NJRS+1. Come across to all of our social media for BTS stuff that doesn't make it to our YouTube. We're on Instagram.
And on site.
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok and Facebook are our main ones. We're just Mike James Rocker on everything, nice and easy to find. And even if you're not at a festival, also make sure you look after yourselves, because we want you to all be okay and join us for the blog next week.
Yeah, we want you to comment and share and just give us your stories.
Yep. So until, probably 2 weeks before we sit in this studio again, but make sure you look after yourselves.
Peace!